It's another day, the sun is shining. Got to know what's going on around you. Wake up, it's the time to motivate your mind. Come with me, let's make this moment brighter. Wake up with the Bahamas and sunrise. Come on and wake up with the Bahamas and sunrise. Wake up with the Bahamas and sunrise. Wake up with the Bahamas and sunrise. Hey.
Good morning, TGIF. Welcome to Bahamas and Sunrise. I'm Philip Simon.
And I'm Gandhi Pinder, filling in for the beautiful and talented Anastasia Palacios, who is live right now, probably hanging from a coconut in a tree in Bali.
Well-deserved family break. Well-deserved family break. Gandhi,
Yeah.
It's been another one of those long weeks. Before I go any further, I want to say happy birthday to Patrice Roll and
Happy birthday to you. Yeah, it's
All right.
Friday.
I also want to say happy birthday to Laverne Nixon, my sweet aunt. Happy birthday to you. I know it's next week. She's, nice round numbers. I won't say them, but
Right.
two beautiful people.
Wonderful. I want to ask you a question, Phil. How do you remember birthdays? Because now I have to depend on Facebook to remind me. So, I have a PSA.
Okay, go ahead.
Everyone, if you are watching this right now and you can hear our voices, traffic is insane right now.
Right now?
Well, probably
On your
right now,
properties?
especially if you're coming from the east.
Okay.
So the east has this rule where if you're leaving to take your kids to school and you normally leave at 6:05 and that's a safe time, if you leave at 6:07, you will probably be delayed an extra hour.
Yeah.
So I want to say, like last night, like as I drove around, I was at the Ranfurly Homes again.
You
Listen.
sound new to this phenomenon. This
No,
happens.
no,
this has
no.
been
I know,
years,
no. I know out
decades.
east is crazy, right? But at 8 o'clock, like all parts of the island, do you think it's because of the influx of people as a result of Dorian? I see a lot of SD
I'm
plates
not sure
too.
yet. I mean, obviously Dorian has changed everything
Yeah.
that we do. I mean, the headlines continue to be there. Listen, so many things we could talk about.
But they can, so I had my phone, I was sharing our live stream. Take us with you. When you're in your car, just put your phone on the side. You can listen. Don't watch while you drive, okay?
Listen, also too, I know this week was the 40th anniversary of Junior Achievement Bahamas.
Yes.
40 years ago, Wednesday passed, since Sir Franklin and others would have dreamt to expand.
Wow.
And it's also the 100th anniversary of Junior Achievement worldwide. So, very special. So I got, my shirt.
I like it.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
like it.
all right.
I actually have one. I have the green one, and the Bamboo Shack staff, they're wearing their shirts today.
Okay, great. See, she knew it. But of course you're wearing a shirt for a special reason
Yes, because Patrice DeGregory Campbell, she gave me this shirt, and she passed and she fought her battle with cancer,
Yeah,
and she did it gracefully. And so in Grand Bahama, I'll be there
Okay.
this Saturday, and Christ Cathedral, Pro Cathedral, yeah. So
I'll
we'll
be
be
here
there.
praying for you.
Yes,
Again, my
and the
own personal
entire family,
condolences,
such a
yes.
wonderful person.
Yeah.
But then, of course, they live on through us. So thank you
Yeah.
for my shirt. Very beautiful, Patrice.
Right about it. But listen, so it's Friday, it's an upbeat Friday. We're still trying to be positive
Yes.
amongst all the negativity that's happening. I don't even understand how people can find time to be so, why are we still killing people? What is going on in our, man, we are battling some serious forces here that obviously are of another realm. Let me just put it that way.
But I'm just so happy that organizations like JA and the people who step in to mentor and work with people,
Right.
it makes a big difference,
Huge difference,
It
huge
makes a
difference.
big
Corporate
difference.
Bahamas is still doing their thing.
Yes.
I'm so proud of us as a people. I mean, you skim the papers every day, you see where somebody else is making significant contributions. And these aren't just like tax write-off types of things. These are genuine,
Right.
support and help for people who need it the most.
Yeah, and that's a beautiful thing. But we do have a wonderful show today, and I had the opportunity to speak with the chamber from Abaco.
The president.
So I spoke with the president, Ken Hutton,
Ken Hutton,
and then I
yeah.
spoke with the director, Damon Tynes,
Yeah.
and just riveting to
Yeah.
realize even what the heads of organizations
Went through.
So people are saying, oh, the people at the top and this and that. Anyone who is in Abaco, it's likely that they lost everything, you know?
Yeah. I also had fun this week.
Yay!
A month later, as promised, April Burrows, fashion designer consultant, came and said, Philip, it's your time. It was my time this week in Vulnerable Bones, and we get to see that. I had a lot of fun.
So we get to see
I
that
won't even
today.
lie. I had a lot of fun.
You know what? I went to the National Prayer Service at Bahamas Faith Ministries, and it was good to see everyone, all the clergy, different denominations, male, female. That place was ram-packed. There had to be like a few thousand people in there. And they were just praying, and Delton Fernando, the president of the Christian Council, you know, he referenced the heroes, the jet ski heroes. And he said, when the people from CNN interviewed him and asked, well, why are you doing this? He said, because we's a Bahamian. And we's Bahamian, and we can keep doing it until we get everybody. And that's who we are. And I love that.
It was special.
Yeah.
About it. We also will be talking with Debbie Deal, director there at the Chamber of Commerce, about how to rebuild. You know, how to rebuild. I'm actually interested in that conversation. How do we, you've seen so many different styles, circular homes, you know, high rises, you know, stilts, you know, so how do we rebuild
I want to hear
after
that.
the storm?
Yeah, because the chamber as well too, Ken Dorset, they were talking about Project Resurrect. I mean, yes. Why did I say Ken Dorset?
Well, Ken is that's another
right.
thing.
But they did say Project Resurrect, and then Jericho Archer is here, and they're going to talk about the B3As, and they're heading over to the IAAF World Championships in Qatar. And then we also have your Alive weekend calendar. Shout out to Alive for being so amazing through the storm. And then all of that and so much more. But first, our first look at weather with
It's a lot of weather out there.
eye contact, the amazing, super talented, our man of action, Godfrey Burnside.
Weather at sunrise, brought to you by Bahamas First in Insurance, today, tomorrow.
Thank you, Gandhi. Good morning, Bahamas. In your first look at the weather at sunrise, we have a special warning out this morning for large swells that will continue to produce dangerous, hazardous beaching and boating conditions across the Bahamas as a result of Hurricane Humberto. Residents should exercise extreme caution while walking along coastal region, and sea spray and sand will be spread right across the islands. We're asking small craft operators to remain in port and swimmers refrain from going into the sea due to dangerous surf and rip currents. We're also advising those residents in Eleuthera to avoid the use of the glass window bridge over the next several days. On local staying weather today, we're looking at variable cloudiness, but windy, with a few showers, nightly thunderstorms, your high temperature reaching 90 degrees Fahrenheit. Tonight, partly cloudy and windy, with a few showers, maybe a nightly thunderstorm, your low temperature going down to 79 degrees Fahrenheit. And some region highs and lows across the Caribbean, Barbados, 85 and 80. In Jamaica, 83 and 74. In Trinidad, 89 and 78. And the Turks and Caicos Islands, 89 and 77. Across North America, Atlanta, 81 and 59. In Raleigh, 79, 52. In Miami, 85, 78. Dallas, Texas, 88 and 73. And Toronto, Canada, 74 and 61. Pretty good weekend store weather-wise, lots of winds, but those caution to you boaters and swimmers to remain in port and out to sea because of those large swells that are going to occur along the coastal region. Even if you're driving the car, be very careful because of sea spray. That puts her up your first look at weather at sunrise. I'm Godfrey Burnside. Back to you, Phil.
Thank you very much, Godfrey. The Prime Minister's Delivery Unit is using target-specific, results-oriented performance management methodology in 6 key priority areas. I had to read that this morning to make sure I got that right, because one of those areas is education, and we're happy to have Ms. Charmaine Sinclair, the Assistant Director of Education. Good morning. Welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
That is a mouthful that we're saying.
It is.
The Prime Minister's delivery unit is new to this particular Prime Minister, but it certainly has been very busy in all of its workings. And of course, now it seems as though KPIs, key performance indicators, baseline targets, et cetera, are being gauged in education.
Yes.
Speak a little to that.
Well, we've always
You've always had it. That's what I was about to say. Yes, exactly.
We've always monitored the work that we've done.
Right.
But this specific initiative now looks at not just monitoring the indicators, but aligning them to the work that we do, the work that we have planned on implementing, and then seeing how well we can use the data. That's the key.
Okay.
To bring about the changes that we would want to have take place.
Okay, all right. So once you do that, you assemble that. Obviously, it's a national initiative.
Yes.
I would imagine.
Yes.
Once you do that, then what's next?
All right. So let's take a step back. We have a goal for education, and now our current goal is to increase the proportion of students who are graduating, who are leaving with the qualifications that we would want them to have.
Okay.
So moving the graduation rate from 50% to 85% by 2030.
Okay.
We would have identified strategies in certain areas that we would want to implement to bring about achieving that goal. Getting all on board in terms of from every level of education, pre-primary to post-secondary, so that we're able to achieve that goal. As we look at how we're implementing the strategies, we are monitoring our progress.
Okay.
And so we would have to make adjustments according to what we're seeing. If we identify that we're going to work in the area of literacy at the primary level, which is one of the areas that we're targeting, then we look at our GLAT results.
Okay.
We see what is happening. We may have to make adjustments according to whether or not students are achieving in the language arts area but not the mathematics area,
Okay.
whether or not students are performing well with a particular component of language arts as opposed to another component. Training comes into that, as well as what is the leadership of the school like, what resources are we giving to bring about the changes we want to see.
You know, this is obviously youth and education, some of my favorite topics just to talk about, generally speaking, because it's so critical to national development.
Yes.
Just a quick question. GLAT is mandatory for all students?
At the
whether in
third and
private or
sixth
public?
grade level,
Okay.
yes. At the
All students.
primary school, yes. All students within the Bahamas would participate in the GLAT exams.
All right. So we always have this thing where we say we begin with the end in mind, and you mentioned,
Yes.
you know, what then is the ministry's goal? You know, when you talk about a graduate coming out of the school system, define what that graduate should have or look like.
Yes. So I'm glad you asked me that, because the ministry has worked quite extensively on a vision for our education sector. As a matter of fact, we have a document that's called Vision 2030 for education. And within that document, it outlines the characteristics that we would want to see in a 21st century graduate.
Okay, yeah.
And not all of the characteristics are academically based.
Right.
So we're talking about persons who are able to contribute to the development of our country, persons who possess the soft skills, some
Soft skills,
persons
yeah.
would say,
Yeah.
persons who are able to get along with others, persons who are able to take turns. If it's your turn at the stoplight
That's a
or
serious
at
thing
the
right
stop
there.
sign, you go. But
Yeah.
if it's not your turn, then you allow the others to go. So these kinds of things
Like
we want to
emotional
cultivate.
intelligence and
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
Because the characteristics are different. I mean, you know, we always had this
Yes,
thing back, you know, when I was at the Chamber of Commerce with education. Is that, are we training to industry or are we training to life?
Persons who are socially aware,
Right.
culturally aware. Those kinds of things are also important for the development of a person.
And the digital revolution, right?
Yes. So technology is another area, and it's also an area that's a priority for education for the PMDU, the Prime Minister's Delivery Unit. We are calling it a technology or digital evolution.
Well, okay.
So the Ministry of Education is making available to all of our teachers, all of our students, digital devices. Tablets, laptops, projectors, things that we would normally use in the daily life of a 21st century person, but the skills needed to also bring about the learning outcomes that we would want to see with our students.
I mean, everybody, my kids, kids, they all know about these devices anyway.
Yes.
It's a matter of how do you use it.
How do you use it, not just for watching YouTube videos, music videos. So YouTube videos, they are also instructional, depending on what it is that you want to learn. And so gaining the skills is important, but also using those skills to bring about the kinds of learning that we would want to see take place.
What has proven to be the most challenging aspect of all of this?
Most persons would say we need money.
Right.
Money isn't the answer to everything. There has to be the attitude. There has to be the cohesiveness of coordinating everything, because all need to be on the same page. We need to all understand where we're going and how we're going to get there. Not just the teachers, not just the administrators, but the students have to be a part of it as well. They have to take ownership of their learning. So challenges in terms of, this is the vision, this is where we would want to go. Sometimes we may need to stop and determine, are we going in the right direction? And the gathering of the data, I think, as we look at all of that, is also a challenge, because we need to be able to analyze and report on what we're seeing. But data coming in has always been a challenge, not just for education. I think the entire region.
It starts with data.
Yes.
Yes. And converting that into information and converting that into a valuable output.
Yes.
What do you say, you talked about the teachers, you talked about students. What do you say to parents who are watching? How can they participate? How can they help in this transformation? I mean, it's a new thing, and it's all towards, like you said, national development.
Yes. So parents play a very important role. I talked about the team, and parents are part of that team. They are an important stakeholder in all of this. Even if you're just motivating or encouraging your child daily, we're going to get into that classroom. We're going to absorb as much as we can. I'm here to give you support. Let me talk to your teacher. Let me find out what I can do to assist in your learning process. Even if it's just, I'm dropping you off this morning to school, or I'm walking you to school, but as we're going, we're having an exchange as to, what is it that you want to learn today? What took place yesterday in the classroom? How can I help as mother, as father? That's important.
Tell you, loving this conversation this morning with Charmaine Sinclair, Assistant Director of Education. You can see she is also a teacher. Listen, thank you so much for joining us here on Bahamas at Sunrise. Looking forward to hearing more about the Prime Minister's Delivery Unit as it relates to education.
Yes, thank you.
Great. You're watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll be right back.
I always wanted to come back to the College of Bahamas. I wanted to be a faculty. When the opportunity came for me to be Vice President of Operations, I said, well, let me try that first. It makes me proud because I was here before. I feel as if now I'm sort of like a beacon for those students who are here to say, hey, listen, I can actually be a Vice President. I can actually be one of the big leaders at the university. I'm Ronnie Stevenson, and this is my UB.
Apply today at www.ub.edu.bs.
Good afternoon. First response. How can I help you?
I've been in an accident on West Bay Street. Can you send someone to help?
Yes, ma'am. A first response team will be there in 15 minutes. Are you hurt?
No, I'm fine, but a bit upset.
We're glad you're not hurt. Please, try to relax. Our team will take care of everything as soon as they arrive.
First Response provides immediate on-site service and support from the scene of an accident through the claims and repair process. And it's free to all Bahamas First insured drivers in New Providence every day for any type of accident. If you drive and want first response on your side, call 32-FIRST or visit bahamasfirst.com for the name of an authorized Bahamas First agent. first response can't prevent an accident from happening,
But it can certainly ease your mind when it happens.
Who do I look at? You?
Welcome back. The cost to rebuild the islands post-Dorian is estimated in the billions. As we begin the process of rebuilding, what are best practices we need to consider to build smart? Here to talk with us about this is an amazing woman. We've been having an awesome conversation off air. Is Deborah Deal, Managing Director of Contemporary Builders, X1X, and Chairman of the Working Group for Electro-Technical and Energy Efficiency. Now, those are some words that we want to hear, especially at this time, and we're going to dig right into it. Good morning, Deborah, and
Good
welcome
morning.
to Bahamas at
Thank
Sunrise.
Thank you so much for being here.
Oh,
I was the first customer at Starbucks this morning.
Really? You know you have to if you want to beat that traffic. I spoke about one difference coming from the east. 1 minute.
I swear.
But we need to talk about flying cars. I think they're coming out in about 2040.
Oh, I could use one.
Yeah, I could use one too. So tell us a little bit about this company, because it sounds so interesting. Contemporary Builders, Electro-Technical, Energy Efficiency.
Well, Contemporary Builders X1X Limited is my company. The X1X is, I brought my youngest daughter into the company when she was 19, and those are the Roman numerals for 19. The committee that I sit on 3 committees actually, with the Bahamas Bureau of Standard and Quality, and one of them I'm the chairman of, and the other 2 I just sit on in the working groups. And we've been mandated by the Prime Minister's office to look at the CARICOM, Caribbean Regional Building Code with regard to energy, sustainability, climate change, energy efficiency, alternative energy, and that's what I'm the chairman of. So, you know, basically, my building and my community service are really all connected. I started building green back in like 2007, and everything else has just morphed from that, to be perfectly honest.
So we always say that our buildings, our homes in the Bahamas are structurally sound, right?
We have an amazing
building code. But what needs to change after this storm? What has it taught us?
Well, a number of things that it's taught us is, first of all, with the family islands, there's not always inspectors to go and inspect the work that's been done. Whereas if you're here, there are inspectors that you put in your inspection, and you have the Ministry of Works come in and inspect it. So we do have we have an excellent building code. We weren't ready for the tsunami-type waters that came in with Abaco and Grand Bahama.
Now, when people hear the word tsunami, they think about like places in Asia and stuff, and they don't.
Well, yes, but that's basically how the water came in with this storm. You know, it wasn't like as the storm progresses, the water just keeps going up and up and up and up. This time it came in with the force of I'm only using the word tsunami because that's what people hear and understand. If I were just to try to talk technical about it, they wouldn't get it. And these are the kind of things that I sent some pictures, by the way, so I think at some point you're going to show the pictures. But best practices, we need to stop building like we live in the United States and Canada. We need to build what we need for our country. And if we go to the pictures, I don't know when we're going to do that.
Yeah, they're on top of things inside there, so they're probably rolling them right now as we talk.
Well, the first 4 pictures I sent were pictures of old Nassau.
Yes.
And if you looked at all of those 4 pictures, there's one thing in common with all of those buildings, and this was right downtown. The thing that was in common was none of them had roof overhangs. A roof overhang is, you know, the part of the roof that hangs over, and we've gone from 2 feet to 3 feet, sometimes 4 feet. We've included them into balconies and that type of thing. Hurricanes love that because it's the uplift factor, right? Hurricanes love, they must say, oh, yay, we're going to go to the Bahamas now. We get all those amazing roofs that we could lift off, right? So we need to start considering the fact that we live in a hurricane zone. They're going to get worse, not better. We need to make sure that we actually maybe go back to the way some of the buildings were built in those days, and there was a reason why they did it.
So like you say, we shouldn't have patchwork roof. Tell us about that.
Well, all right, with shingles, there's, shingles are made out of fossil fuels, number one. Number two, when you, a regular shingle, if you lift it over, there's a little strip. And if you read the label of the actual package, which nobody reads labels, it says to take that strip off. And that is so that when you put layer after layer after layer, that will start to melt. When the sun hits it, that will start to melt, so that your shingles all become one roof, right? Now, I went to a friend's house after a hurricane, and when I looked at her roof, I said, oh, look at all those little diamonds on your roof. And all they were the little tiny strips that were still on the roof, but her shingles were not there.
Look at those diamonds on your roof.
Because they shine,
right,
and they sparkle.
Right.
But, I mean, the shingles weren't there because the strips hadn't been taken off. Now, an architectural shingle, you're supposed to leave that strip on because it's designed in the same fashion. But it's just reading. That would be called a best practice, reading the labels.
So what do we do? Because we just have like...
Paint your roof.
Okay.
There's a roof paint, elastomeric roof paint. I guess I shouldn't go with brands, but there's different kinds and different qualities. You can get one for $195 for 5 gallons, or you can pay $500. You paint it white. White reflects. It insulates your house, so your building will be more energy efficient.
You know what? I need to get your number out there and for people to call you, because there's so much exciting things. But I want to ask you, well, you can give that in a second, but I want to ask you this.
Yes.
Best practices as it relates to sustainability, of course, and then how do we rebuild in a modern, energy efficient way and still keep our Bahamian charm? What about solar panel?
Solar panels are an awesome way to go. We have solar, 340 sun days a year.
Right.
So that's what? How many days we don't have sun? Very few, right? It's ridiculous that we're not using that instead of using fossil fuels. It's ridiculous that when the power goes out, we should not be having solar instead of generators that are noisy.
Underground.
Well, that's
if we go
well,
that
honestly,
way, we should have that infrastructure underground.
Well, I read an article in the paper, and one of the ministers was saying that there's 3,000 electrical poles to put back in Abaco, and I was kind of offended by that, because he obviously has not been listening to his prime minister, because his prime minister has been pushing alternative energy since they actually got into power. And if you read their manifesto, one of the things that they talk about is that, and they actually have, Vienna Gardner is in charge of the Prime Minister's deliverables to make sure these things happen. Why would you put poles back when you see them snap off like they're toothpicks, right? There's nothing there now. We've all seen the pictures. There's no reason in the world why, at this point in time, once all of the debris has been removed, that they don't put the main trunks, everything in the ground, and then later on, you can go to poles if you want to, and maybe a subdivision or something, or that would feed the main business section, and then other persons can put in alternative energy like solar.
You know what, Deborah Deal, I have no doubt that you will be a very important part of this conversation and the process moving forward.
Well, I hope so. I'm meeting with Ken Hutton, who's the head of the Abaco Chamber.
We're actually going to hear from Ken Hutton in just
good.
a
Well,
little
I'm meeting
bit.
him at 9:30 to discuss some of the things. Also, you know, with the Bahamas Bureau of Standards, this thing that we're looking at right now, the regional codes. It is all about insulation and how we can make our building envelope energy efficient and also sustainable. And a lot of it has to do with insulation and impact insulated windows. And when you meet with some of the government persons, they talk about, well, if you do that, then people won't be able to afford to buy homes. Well, you know what? You can't afford not to do it, because we're looking at the damage. And the ones that were built well, they're still there.
This is so important. Please give us your contacts so people can reach out to
All right,
you.
my cell is 557-4845. I will answer at any time. I've been to at least 8 different persons' buildings and houses in the last week because they had some concerns. I don't do it. It's not for money. This is community service. This is because
Powerful.
we need, if we know something and if we can help, we need to pass it on.
We have to bring you back. 557
4845.
4845. Thank
And
you
I'm
so
Debbie
much for
Deal.
joining us. And I'm Debbie Deal. Thank you for joining us on Bahamas at
welcome. It's
Sunrise.
great to
We'll
be here.
back after this.
Thanks.
We get up early every morning to offer safe and dependable service. Where quality service is paramount. An excellent travel experience is priority. Connecting the islands of the Bahamas to the world. Bahamas Air. We don't just fly here, we live here.
Hi, I'm Davriel and welcome to Rev Tips, where we answer your most important Rev service questions. Today's question is, how do I set up a Rev My Account? It's super easy. To create a Rev My Account, simply visit www.cablebahamas.com and click the My Account icon. Next, select the Create Account option. Please have a copy of your latest statement on hand. Enter the information as it appears on the statement to the respective areas on the form. When you've finished, click Create Account to continue with the process. Once you've registered your account, you can use your username and password to check your account balance, view past statements, and pay your bill online. And that's your Rev Tip for this week. Thanks for watching, and be sure to join us next time.
Welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise. We are here at the mall at Marathon, Bonneville, Bones. Let me say right off the bat, it is my day today. It is my time. And as promised, April Burrows is back. Got to shake my hand. She said I would be next. And of course, fashion consultant, designer. Thank you so much. You know,
I'm so happy to be here. You're so
can you
excited.
tell?
Yeah.
Can you tell? I mean, I don't normally get excited about shopping because normally when I'm shopping I have other people with me and it takes so much time. But we've got this space all to ourselves here this morning, and I might have to pull a Michael Jackson and just go around and just buy everything.
I don't think we mind at all.
Oh man,
Yeah.
so speak a little bit about, obviously this store is all about the men. All about the men.
All about the men. The segment at Fashion at Sunrise is all about the men today, as promised.
Yes.
And so we're going to be dressing you today, Phil.
All right.
We have 3 looks. We're going to
You know what? There's nothing better that a man likes when he doesn't have to dress himself. So go
Right.
ahead.
And so we have 3 looks we're going to put on you today.
Okay.
One is going to be a casual day look, so something you can wear at the office, casual Fridays.
Casual Fridays,
You can, if you're going to happy hour afterward, you'll be dressed and still looking sharp. The second look is going to be more of a nighttime look. So we're going to a party, dinner.
Dressy casual.
Yes, open collar or not. You have the option. We'll show you some options. Nice.
Getting into party season, so
yes,
you gotta hook me up.
You have to get it right. So we're going to also be looking at some of the fall colors and give you some ideas of what the trends are and how you would dress for those trends. The third look is going to be a semi-formal look. So something you can wear to church, to a wedding, any semi-formal event.
How important are, you talk about fall colors. How important are colors? I mean, usually, you try to match the belt with the shoes or the shirt with the shoes. I mean, different seasons with different types of colors and even patterns, I would imagine.
Yes. So going into the fall, you're going to have warmer colors.
Okay.
So if you get into your browns, more grays, blacks, you can wear the same color, but the tone is going to be different. And of course, we talked about leopard print or animal print in the last segment.
Yeah, that was for the women, I would have.
No, men could wear animal print too. Plaids are really big. I see you have on a check shirt, so that's you're already on trend. Yeah, and so patterns, colors are very important. So we're going to look at some of those as well.
All right, great. And of course, they have a great selection of shoes and socks here as well. I love the shoes, man. So I got a feeling I'm going to be back here.
You're in trouble then.
I'm in trouble. All right. Well, listen, I'm looking forward to it. We've got April Burrows in the house. She's all mine this morning. Let's do it.
Let's make Star jealous.
All right.
Okay.
All right, April, so what we got here?
So here is a lovely blazer. I love the colors of this one. This is nice fall colors.
Okay.
The blue and the brown, almost like a mahogany.
So this falls in the category of formal or dressy casual?
This is kind of dressy casual. So you can wear this with jeans on a Friday at the office. You can wear it to a dinner party, to a regular party.
Right.
After hours, it's fine.
The interiors of jackets are always so nice,
Yeah.
but you never really see them unless you're trying to,
Exactly, you have to flash it,
Absolutely.
right. Yeah, no, but that's a beautiful jacket.
But white. Now, I haven't worn a white jacket in a long time, but I think I'm feeling this one here.
And it's time to take a risk, take a chance. You can, make it really classic with black. You can wear the jeans. You can wear colored pants if you're feeling really funky, depending on the event.
I can see.
But it's a nice jacket.
But what shirt? What do you put on the inside?
You can wear a t-shirt. You can wear a graphic t-shirt, which would be really nice with jeans. You can also wear a collared shirt, open collar, no tie, with a pocket piece or a lapel pin. You can do a lot with a white jacket.
You can do a lot. Okay.
I think you should try this one.
Let's see what you do with this.
Okay.
Let's see what you do. All right. All right, so this is the suit section, and nothing looks better than a man in a nice suit, right?
A nice tailored suit. This one is really good. This color is a good color because...
This is a fall color?
It is a fall color.
Okay.
It's a neutral, and neutrals are really big this fall. And it's a suit that you can wear to a wedding. It's kind of a semi-formal.
Look at that again.
Look at that. Yeah, you like the lining.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is one of those things where you got to take your jacket off at least 3-4 times.
Right. And just kind of flip it so they see the inside. But this is good. So if you're going to a wedding, if you're going to church, it's kind of a semi-formal look. You can dress it up. I like the detailing. The stitching here on the collar and the lapel is really nice. This color works for any complexion.
What do you put with it? The shoes obviously would be a tan shoe?
You can do tan. Look at the lining. This gray, right? The gray also looks good with the tan.
Okay.
So if you want to really be different and you have gray, black, tan, any type of brown would look good with this. It's a natural color.
Bow tie
it's a neutral color. I would do more necktie. I think a necktie would be more appropriate for this. Bow tie is more for like a tuxedo.
I can see it now. You can wear like a grayish type of shirt with a earth tone type of tie.
Look at you. You don't need me. You don't need me anymore.
Fashion 101 with April Burrows, y'all.
So we're definitely gonna let you try this one.
Okay, good.
Nice. Yes. So we're joined by Ryan Robinson Fox, who is the buyer here at Bonneville Bone. You're a very happy customer, Ryan.
I'm happy.
Good. So tell us about this blazer, this whole outfit, because this entire outfit is styled by you, Bonneville Bone. So tell us more about it.
So this white blazer is actually called a hop sack fabric. Okay. So it's textured. I don't know if they've seen it on camera, but that gives,
I love it.
Yeah, that gives the jacket a bit more character than just being, say, a flat jacket. Yeah. We've accessorized with the lapel pin red and red socks. We've got a dressy loafer that's very versatile for so many looks, anything from casual to an actual suit. A nice quality textured t-shirt and nice well-fitting jeans.
This is a nice look, Phil, and you were kind of iffy about the white jacket.
I was, but I'm feeling this.
You're feeling it?
I'm feeling this, yeah.
And the texture in the shirt, because it's not a regular t-shirt, it's a nice,
it's like
soft. It seems soft.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Another one.
Another one.
Oh, wow.
Very good.
I love this look.
How are you feeling in this one?
I'm enjoying this one.
Very nice.
Enjoying this one.
Very nice.
I love the fit of the jacket.
The fit is really good. Again, this is not but this is a modern fit jacket, so it's tailored in the waist, not too tight around the chest. This color is very flattering on your complexion as well as for the season, like April mentioned earlier. The light blue, this sort of French blue, that's actually trending as well in suits, but like entire suits to be that color, so just this little flash of it on top of the burgundy is very, very nice. We got a pair of slacks here that are textured. That's a very nice, what do you call this? The blended fabric, it's kind of two-tone, and it's a horizontal texture going on there. Your dressy loafer, and we really put a splash of mix the colors there
really
for
digging
you.
These socks.
We got your burgundy, your blue, some greens, some nice fall colors. It's very, very nice.
All right.
Yeah. It's a very classic look, but it still has a little bit of
a flair,
a flair
to
it.
Very classy.
It's like Ric Flair.
You can
styling and profiling,
That's right. You look good.
How do you feel?
I feel good. I really like this. I like this look a lot. I like
Yeah.
this look a lot. Yeah.
Right. So we're still on trend with the fall trends, with the plaids. Plaids is really big right now, and jackets for men and women. Like I would wear that jacket.
That's true. That's true. Women.
Yeah, I would definitely wear that jacket. So be careful if you do buy it. You know, it may go missing. Someone who you live with may end up wearing it one day. But it's a great look with the plaid. You can wear plaids and jackets and pants, accessories, ties. I think you have some ties and plaids and checks as well.
We do. One other really good thing about this as well is it's a versatile look. So you can wear this to an outing. You can wear this to work. You can wear this to dinner, dress it up more if you wanted to accessorize with pocket piece or lapel pin as well. So that's the beauty of a blazer.
Do my spin? Let me see. Put my spin.
Phil, you are just on fire. You're just coming out today.
All right.
Oh, wow.
I feel as though there should have been some music playing for this particular outfit right here. This is definitely the cherry on top, Ryan. April, what do you think?
I love it.
This is our semi-formal look.
Okay.
Right? So we've paired this with a pattern on top of a pattern. We've got a large check with a more of a micro print. This light colored suit is kind of appropriate for every occasion, every season, as April said earlier. We accessorized as well with cufflinks here that have the silver and the tan. That's very nice. And everybody knows what's very popular right now is soft. So the outer side. The outer side, we have a very nice, bright, colorful top that coordinates with our shirt and tie. So this is bright, this is fun, probably for wedding, for church, all year round. You look good.
I'm good. I'm ready to go. I think I'm going to keep it on.
And I love the fit of this. It's not like a European. It's not really fitted. What do you call this cut, Ryan?
This is called a modern fit. So that's more what you're going to find in stores right now. Slim fit to modern fit. Modern fit still allows a tailored look that flatters the midsection, but it's not so tight and so slim along the leg and along the chest. So this is appropriate for, say, an older person or older gentleman, more mature, let me not say older, mature person that doesn't want to look so tight and
so trendy.
Or so trendy. So
yeah.
trend.
Yeah.
Definitely not tight, but
it's
definitely.
Classy. It's good.
And it's a nice fall look. I love the colors.
The colors,
like the orange, the burnt orange, and the browns with the neutral. This is a good one, Phil.
Just for you, Scott. Well, listen, thank you so much, ladies. This has been fun for me.
It's been a pleasure having you.
Oh, Ryan, definitely. I mean, we have to, listen, if you haven't been to Bonneville Bones, you definitely need to come and check it out. There's so much more than what we've shown here in the store. April, I want to hug you.
How did I do?
You did an excellent job, man. Thank you so much. We're going to have to do this again real soon.
We definitely will.
All right,
we will.
Coordinate. Listen, you're watching Bahamas at Sunrise. I've been with April Burrows, fashion consultant, and Ryan Robinson Fox at Bonneville Bones. Like the young people themselves, have been all fresh up here today. We'll be right back.
Wait, that's Omar Little from The Wire. You think everyone is Omar from The Wire?
Wow, it's really nice to meet a fan.
It's like he's right here. I telling you he's been on all type of shows and stuff?
And you know, Rev Go Play plays a lot of good movies and TV shows.
Excuse me, can't you see we're watching something else? Rude.
Settle all your pop culture disputes with Rev Go Play. Watch, record, and stream all your favorite shows wherever you are. Free for all Rev TV subscribers. Rev, you and us together.
So who really own a Nassau container port?
Boss, that's easy. The government.
I do.
I do. Thank you.
I do.
I do. And one day, he will too.
I do. Knock knock.
Here at the Nassau Container Port, we've diversified our ownership to give hardworking Bahamians a piece of the economic pie. And we'll continue to grow so that we can give you a consistent return on your investment. That's our promise.
Welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise, Midway Point, Midway Point. We are on our smartphones making sure that we get everybody's birthday today. Happy birthday to Toyin, happy birthday to Portia, happy birthday to Novi Pierre, happy birthday to Hank, happy birthday.
I see Hank O'Brien had a birthday,
Yeah,
Dino Knowles had a birthday, but today Kenyatta Taylor is celebrating and he rocks the house at the prayer service and
Still
they
singing, I mean, the voice.
I mean, come on, and you know what? Kenyatta, I don't know if they want me to say this, but Kenyatta and his wife, they kind of like took in this family, and they took care of this family. And this just goes to show how our Bahamian people are. So they got like an apartment and everything like that. It just came out in casual conversation. And so I wrote in a group, hey, you know, we need some assistance with getting this furnished. And then some people came to assist, but now they're even looking for a bigger place for her to make sure that her and our kids are comfortable. So these are our Bahamian people, and this is what they do.
This is Bahamian, no doubt about it.
Happy birthday to my godson, Shama. And I don't know if you know Landlord and LaRue, but that's their son. So all my godchildren got celebrity parents. What's going on?
Oh, I wonder how that happened. Celebrity godmother. So in case you missed it, I got to do it again because did you see the
you changed.
See that, Godfrey?
So first, Phil has this Bonneville Bones spirit now.
No, it's JA T-shirt day, 40th anniversary. This is the green version to the white one. Okay, and we also have a black one.
Okay, well, I saw you in Bonneville Bones in that very exciting segment that's going to cause all of our men in the Bahamas to go down and the women that love them to go down there, right?
Right.
But you did that model turn.
Yeah, that's from that little spin.
And so you were
back in the day.
You were changing. You were changing the suits and all that other kind of stuff. So now fun. You felt mid-show. Well, you must change.
No, listen. All for
no,
Jay.
Phil, you about the drama.
Jay.
You about the drama.
You about the drama. I knew you were going to be here today, so it's all about Jay.
You're showing off.
And Jay is not just Junior Achievement, it's also Joan Aubrey, right, Joan? Yeah, that's it.
Oh, brownie points, brownie points.
Ka-ching.
Right, so we still got some more great stuff in our second half, and who knows what Phil's going to be wearing after that. And we're going to talk with the Abaco Chamber of Commerce. But so awesome talking with Deborah Deal, and so now we see how things are going to come together because she's meeting with the president of the Abaco Chamber. Okay. And so I like the fact that she said that the Prime Minister said that, hey, we want to be more energy efficient. We're considering climate change. This is important.
Are we going to get the circular homes? You didn't ask about that.
Well, I don't know, but we did talk about the flying cars. And they should be good by 2040. But Lord, by 2040, I can still be able to drive.
You can still be Gandhi. Still be Gandhi.
I need to have a special car pilot.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Chauffeur, no doubt about it. No doubt about it.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yes, but I still want to make mention that we want to support, you know, our Bahamian athletes, and they're going to Qatar for the IAAF. And you know what? During times like this, people like Shanae, and then you have Speedy Stevie, right? And who continue to break records. This is like the hope of the nation. So although we're rebuilding and we're asking corporate Bahamas and everyone to pitch in, we must support our athletes too, because it kind of is the silver lining.
I agree.
For us.
I agree. Yeah.
So now what I want to challenge you to do right now, Phyllis, to send it to Godfrey Burnside, but in grand style.
Here's Godfrey Burnside with a second look at weather at sunrise.
Weather at sunrise, brought to you by Bahamas First in Insurance, today, tomorrow.
To you. Thank you, Phil, and good morning, Bahamas. Just take a look at weather at sunrise. A trip around the tropics was quite busy at this time. First, we have Hurricane Jerry, and at 5 a.m. this morning, Jerry was located in the latitude 18.4 degrees north and 58.7 degrees west, some 290 miles to the east of northern Leeward Islands. The max sustained winds in 105 miles per hour, making a strong Category 1 hurricane, is moving west-northwest at 60 miles per hour. A turn to the northwest is expected on Sunday and a more northerly turn early next week, meaning that it will move to the east of the islands. Then we have a broad area of low pressure over the central Caribbean Sea, just south of Hispaniola, is moving west-northwest at about 20 miles per hour and has a 10% chance of development over the next 5 days. And then we have a tropical wave some 700 miles east of the Windward Islands. It's producing disorganized showers and thunderstorms. This system is moving towards the west at 20 miles per hour and has a 30% chance of development as it moves towards the west and into the Caribbean Sea early next week. And then we have a tropical wave that just moved off the western coast of Africa, and let me tell you, it has a high percentage, 60% chance of development over the next 5 days. Elsewhere, tropical storm formation are expected during the next 5 days. On the local scene, Umberto is out there and is producing large swells over the islands and causing dangerous, hazardous beaching and boating conditions across the islands. We're asking residents to exercise extreme caution while walking along coastal roads for sea spray and sand, and small craft operators should remain in port and swimmers refrain from going into the sea due to dangerous surf and rip currents. And we're asking residents in Eleuthera to avoid the use of the glass window bridge over the next several days. In your marine forecast, we have an advisory posted, winds northeast to east at 15 to 25 knots, seas 5 to 8 feet, but those swells can be up to 16 feet over the northwest Bahamas, and east at 15 to 20 knots, seas 4 to 6 feet over the central and southeastern islands, those swells 12 to 16 feet. And then on Saturday, those winds northeast to east at 15 to 20 knots, seas 4 to 7 feet over the northwest and central Bahamas, east at 10 to 15 knots, seas 2 to 4 feet over the southeastern islands. And then on Sunday, northeast to east at 15 to 20 knots, seas 4 to 7 feet over the northwest and central Bahamas. Continue east at 10 to 15 knots, seas 2 to 4 feet over the southeastern islands. And yes, Umberto will produce these swells up to 16 feet over the weekend. And then Jerry will produce next week some swells probably up to 12 feet. Yeah, tides. You can expect a high tide 11:35 this morning. Next low tide is 6:02 this evening. High again tonight at 11:51. Sunset 7:07 this evening, rises tomorrow at 6:58. UV index 9, your water temperature 86 degrees Fahrenheit, honeymoon phase last quarter. And as we go into the weekend, pretty good weekend in store weather-wise, so windy conditions. And of course, we're asking persons about those swells to stay out of the water and use small craft operators to remain in port. Low temperature daytime will be in the low 90s, at nighttime around the 80-degree mark. That puts a wrap on your fun look at weather at sunrise. I'm Godfrey Burnside. Back to the beautiful Gandhi.
Welcome back. Abaco suffered catastrophic loss of life due to Hurricane Dorian, which also completely destroyed the main commercial center of Marsh Harbor and left the city, island, and surrounding keys without power, water, buildings, homes, banks, stores, food, fuel, and many other basic amenities. Here to talk with us about the impact that Hurricane Dorian had, especially on the business community of Abaco, is Mr. Ken Hutton. He's the president of the Abaco Chamber of Commerce, and of course, Danon Tynes, who is the director of the Abaco Chamber. Good morning, gentlemen. Welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Morning.
So we have just been having a riveting conversation. I am enthralled. I can say now that you have to come back again. Let's see, where do we start? Tell us about your experience, because you both live in Abaco, when the hurricane hit and then the aftermath. Ken?
Everyone who is there has a story. My story's very similar to other people. It's not as bad as what a lot of people went through. It's not something that I think I would recommend for anyone to be doing, but you know, the long and short was it was a hurricane of historic proportions. It was epic. I lost my house, I lost my business, all my possessions are basically destroyed. I was fortunate in that no injuries, my family's fine, and you know, you take the blessings when they come.
It's amazing how resilient Bahamian people are, because we were just talking. You said you literally just came from Abaco in your one good shirt.
Yeah.
And that's amazing. People are still finding a way to smile. You have a similar story, Danon.
Yeah, my shirt now I'm wearing is thank you to my brother, Danson. He gave me some clothes when we got in.
I think people don't understand the level at which this storm affected everybody, all positions, right? So we say, oh, the president of the chamber and the director of the chamber, you lost your homes. You lost everything, and when you went back, it wasn't there.
Well, when I went back, it was still there. The structure of our house was still there, but the roof, we had immense roof damage, so water was everywhere. So I grabbed all the personal photos and wedding gifts that we had, and anything that we could salvage, and some clothes, and actually last night we were going through them, and because we just got our car back and everything, and going through everything, and the mold has started eating away at the clothes. So
that's a big problem too. Yeah, so we have to talk about that when we talk about rebuilding. But I want to ask you, okay, so it's Abaco, we talk about Marsh Harbor, the main commercial center, but the Keys, basically everything was decimated.
The reports we get is, yeah, they were all very severely damaged. The strength of the Keys is that they have a really tough population. A lot of them stayed in there and have stayed to this day, and are in the process of rebuilding. They also have, because of the years of tourist trade and second homeowners and things, they have a really strong support structure behind them. So immediately after the storm, there was a lot of second homeowners and people who had been visiting Hopetown and Guana Key and Man-o-War Key and Green Turtle Key for many years. And there was a lot of stuff that was mobilized immediately for them to show up and start the rebuilding process.
So let's talk about the business community. How many businesses are on Abaco?
According to the Ministry of Finance, there was just over 2,500 businesses in Abaco.
2,500 businesses. And how many are there now?
Ooh. Not many.
Not many.
Wow, just a few. You can count them.
Yeah, but I would say the ones that you can count are not anywhere close to Marsh Harbor. Marsh Harbor is completely decimated.
And then some of the ones that were there were looted.
Yeah.
There was looting going on.
There was looting going on, basically from the hardware stores and the food stores.
So things that people...
And pharmacies.
And pharmacies.
And the bank.
You experienced this with
gas
your business as well. Okay, so the chamber is here now. 2,500 businesses. There are a few who are members of the chamber, but you exist to help all businesses whether they're a member or not.
Correct.
Tell us more.
Again, the role of the chamber is really to represent the business community. Historically, what the chamber has done is we liaise close with local and national governments. If there's legislation coming down that may be harmful or beneficial to the businesses, we let our membership know. If there's something that's happening. You know, when VAT was introduced, the chamber was very active with the initial implementation. When it went up, the chamber was very involved with negotiating and helping to set the new rates. New customs regimes, the Abaco Chamber was very active when they went to the single electronic window system. And we had several very high-level meetings with customs and with Ministry of Finance as that system was rolled out in Abaco. We're involved with things like making sure that our touristic infrastructure is kept at a high level so that our guests have a great experience. You know, things like the airport, roads, you know, we make sure we're sort of like a watchdog.
So let's talk about that, the airports, roads. How are they looking now? What's the recovery process like? What's the state of things in Abaco?
Well, the roads are being cleared. Debris, so we can have access to getting to individuals who have been cut off and giving them supplies and relief for water, food, clothing, personal toiletries and stuff like that.
Do you still need donations to come into Abaco?
Absolutely.
Okay, so that need is still there. So how many people have people actually moved out? I heard stories about how people said, I don't want to leave, my business is here, everything is here, I want to rebuild. What's going on with that?
They may have said that, and then it becomes very obvious quickly thereafter that there was really nothing left. I mean, there was a lot of looting. The situation became rather dangerous to be there. You know, but it is a very, as I said, a very tough community. And we had a meeting yesterday.
Right.
We put out a notice to all the Abaco business people that were in Nassau. And we set up a room at the Hilton yesterday for about 20 or 30 people we had 200 show up.
Wow. I want to ask you, some areas were not damaged as badly as Marsh Harbor, your commercial center. Will there be some businesses who will be ready to operate once utilities are restored? Is there a timeline? Do you have a timeline for anything, or it's still too early?
The timeline that was given to us, preliminary timeline, is that power will be restored in 18 months.
I just got goosebumps. Okay, so let's talk about, when you talk about restoration, let's talk about resurrection. You have partnered with others to start Project Resurrect. What's that?
Project Resurrect is it was an idea that was formulated that, you know, a storm of this magnitude, no one could have planned for. I don't care which government, which country this could have happened at. It was just so overwhelmingly devastating that, you know, the Bahamas government was just totally overwhelmed, as any government would have been.
Right.
You know, you put that into perspective with the current financial situation of the country, and you know, you can't get blood from stone. And as the private sector and really the engine of the economy, the people that collect and generate the tax revenue that funds the government, we felt that, you know, the private sector had to be involved. We had to partner up. We had to work with the government, because it was only together that we're going to be able to bring the islands back.
I love what you said with partnership and working together, and there's so much more that we want to share, which is why you gentlemen have to come back. But please throw out a contact. We know you need help. We know you need donations. We know you need so many different things. Let's just get that contact out there, and then we'll have part 2.
Sure. The easiest way to contact us is through the Abaco Chamber of Commerce, which is info@abacochamber.org.
Okay, perfect. We have to have you back to discuss this fully. Thank you for joining us on Bahamas at Sunrise, gentlemen. We'll be right back.
Good morning, Sunrisers. This your boy Sovereign with your live weekend calendar. Popstar Entertainment and Events and Evolve Functional Fitness invite you to experience movies from the pool, Float Flicks. Bring a float or rent one from us to lounge in the gigantic pool, or bring a chair or bring a blanket for poolside seating. Friday, September 20th, Evolve Bahamas, Montrose Avenue. Reserve your spot, 7:30 p.m. Showtime, 8 p.m. sharp. Nassau Pirate Adventures presents Cruising for a Cause, boat cruising concert in aid of hurricane relief funding. Friday, September 20th, Nassau Pirate Adventures, Old Pioneer Stock, Bay Street, 8:30 p.m. until. Bahamas Harvest Church presents A Walk for Hope, Saturday, September 21st, leaving the Bahamas Harvest Church West Campus. Galleria Cinemas, 6 a.m. Benefit Fun Run Walk, with proceeds being donated to the Bahamas Harvest Church Project, Hope Caribbean Emergency Disaster Relief. The Rotaract Club of East Nassau presents The Missing Treasure, Annual Scavenger Hunt, Saturday, September 21st, Smuggler's Bar, 7 p.m. Wind Down Sunday with the Scallywags, Sunday, September 22nd, The Captain's Table, Life at Key, 6:30 p.m. That's your live weekend calendar. To have your event posted on the calendar, please don't hesitate to email kaubrey@tclbahamas.com. Alive. Believe in best.
This is Eddie, and Eddie's a change counter. This is Sean. Sean doesn't have to count change because when Sean purchases a plan with Alive, it's VAT inclusive. Keep things simple, just like Alive's all-new VAT-inclusive prepaid plans with more talk, more text, and even more data. So don't be an Eddie. Freedom simplified. Alive. Believe in best.
We get up early every morning to offer safe and dependable service. where quality service is paramount. An excellent travel experience is priority. Connecting the islands of the Bahamas to the world. Bahamas Air. We don't just fly here, we live here.
Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Bahamas at Sunrise. We've been with the very, very unpredictable Gandhi Pinder all this week.
This song by Kenyatta Taylor. It is his birthday, okay? I think we could play a little bit of his song. Still I Wait for You. It's especially at this time. I will post it and I will give it to you all. Please go on Bahamas at Sunrise, the Facebook page. But this is going to be an exciting weekend. We want to encourage people to continue.
To get back to being normal.
Yeah, and continue with the efforts. Yeah. And, you know, speaking with the president of the Abaco Chamber, Mr. Ken Hutton, he said that Abaco still needs things. We thought that so many people were moving out, you know, but they said that they are very much in need. But we have to remember that when we give water, people need that for everything, not just drinking.
Correct. And every day.
And every day. So you're going to catch a flight, eh? Okay,
listen, you guys have a wonderful weekend. We're going to see you right back here, same time, same station, Monday.
And if someone missed it, they can tune into the rebroadcast this Saturday at 9 a.m. Ciao. Live well.